All right, live right now. Let's get it popping. All right, y'all. So let's see who's in already. All right, we got some guests coming in. We got some folks coming in. We got some folks coming in. Y'all go ahead and like the live and share it. Like the live and share it. I'm talking about this topic. If you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and come on up because I don't think I'm voting for him. So if you think I should vote for him, go ahead and come on up and tell me why you think so. I'm live on my Facebook page and I'm live on YouTube right now. But if you think that I should vote for Trump, let me know why. I would like to know why I should vote for Trump because so far from what I've seen, I don't like his I don't agree with his platform. I don't like the message that he spreads. I don't like what he has to say. And I don't think he'll be good for America as far as what I've seen in when he was president. So if you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and let me know. There's also that. There's also that, Kong. Yeah, there's also that. So there's also the fact that he's a rapist. But there are people who still think that I should vote for him, even if he was found liable for rape. What's good, John Stout? John Stout's on my Facebook right now. What's good with you, bro? All right, y'all. Go ahead and start liking this live up. My Facebook is hilarious, y'all. I know y'all can't see it, but it's pretty funny. But yeah, so if you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and anybody who wants to join, go ahead and join. Y'all like the live and y'all share it. Like the live, y'all share it. Shout out to all my people who's on Facebook. Shout out to all the people who are on my YouTube right now. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, shout out to you. I just tag some people. I see y'all coming in. All right, Jill, you think I should vote for Trump? Let me know why. Come on up and discuss with me. Come up and talk to me, and we could go ahead and discuss why. God wants Trump. Well, I don't believe in a God, so that's reasoning is not going to really work for me. Is there another reason? Because God is real. Okay. Well, this is not a God live, so I do my religion lives on Sundays, and I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But right now we're gonna talk about politics. I don't believe in a God, so that's not gonna work for me. Our freedom is at stake. Can y'all not chat to the comments and actually come on up? If you actually have the people who can come up, go ahead and if you actually have enough followers to come up and discuss, go ahead and discuss with me because I don't like talking to the comments. There we go. There we go. Now we have
Hello.
Paul. How's it going?
Good. You said you don't believe in
Wait,
God at all, right?
Wait, hold on. First, let me get something straight. Your political affiliation, as I'm assuming, is to the right.
Yes.
And for TikTok purposes, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I don't believe in a God at all. So saying, God wants Trump is not going to work for me. Is there like a policy reason? And even if a God does exist, I don't care what he wants. Why should I vote for this person?
Well, you're mortals. Trump got no sense to know abortion's wrong, and hating somebody because of skin color and race is wrong.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I shouldn't vote for Trump because Trump is a racist.
How's that when he has a lot of friends that are not white and Harris is one of the biggest races there is. She
You can have a
even
lot of
African American.
you can have a lot of friends who are not your same skin color and still support policies and still support social policies and have beliefs of them that makes you racist. Like, for example, the reason why I think Trump is a racist is because he's done actual racist things. Back in New York City, when he ran a building, he was sued twice for housing discrimination for refusing to rent to black residents. And when he owned a casino, he would actually hide his black employees in the back as whenever rich contributors, or not contributors, but whenever a rich customer would come in, he would hide all his black employees. He would hide all his black employees in the back of the casino. He was sued for that. He also actually said, and he admitted to saying this, that he doesn't like black people counting his money. He wants his money to be counted by short Jewish guys who wear funny hats.
Have you ever actually met Trump or been wherever he's at?
No, I've never met Trump.
Then how you know he's real and this is not a trick photography or fake video? But yet you don't believe in God, but yet you believe Trump exists. Like, you believe New York exists, you believe you're sitting on a chair, you believe Chicago exists, you believe the weather changes, and you can't see these things, but yet you don't believe in God.
Are you being serious with me right now? Or are you trolling me, Hall?
No, I'm serious.
No, you can't be serious with that.
People say they don't believe in God, but you believe New York City, something happened with 9/11.
Hey, Paul, I've been to New York City, so I know it exists. I've been to Chicago, so I know it exists.
You been to China?
No, I've never been to China.
How you know China exists?
Because we have proof of China. We have people from China. We have a map of China. So I know that it exists. You can't be serious with that question, my man.
So you got proof that God don't. Yes, I am. Because you study science. Science proves even God exists. There's so much.
No, it doesn't.
With science, Charles
No, it doesn't.
Darwin, there was an evolution that's come from a missionary family.
Okay, like Paul, let's go ahead for the sake of argument. Paul, let's go ahead and go for the sake of argument that your super fairy is actually a real thing. How does that show what I should vote for Trump? I don't care about that.
Well, and then we'll find out, and if there's a God or no God, because when you physically leave this world, or they decide to do what was worse than the mustache guy.
Wonderful. Why should I vote for Trump just because there's a super fairy? Let's say for the sake of argument, let's say for your sake of argument, your omnipowerful super fairy is an actual real thing. Let's just say for the sake of argument, how does that show why I should vote for Trump? I don't care what the super fairy says.
We just go on and see what happens. We just roll with the flow and see what happens.
All right, y'all. We got 100 people in here, 900 likes. Go ahead and keep liking up on the live. I do appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, Paul. So you haven't given me a reason to vote for Trump. I don't care if a God exists or not.
So you don't even care about love, then, do you? Do you understand what love is?
Can you please not dehumanize me?
You really have a low self-esteem when I hit points that hit your heart.
No, it doesn't. Paul. The reason why I say you dehumanize me is because I'm a human just like you're a human. If we're both human and we both have our senses, neither of us are sociopaths, that means I know what love is. I have a fiance. I have a mother and a father. I have sisters. I know what love is. Please don't ask me that question. Don't dehumanize me. The only thing I'm asking, hold on, Paul, listen. The only thing I'm asking you is why I should vote for Trump. Me not being a Trump supporter does not mean that I have no love in my heart. That makes no sense at all. So please don't dehumanize me. I didn't dehumanize you. I didn't dehumanize you. All I asked you was, why should I vote for Trump? That was my only question. See, for you to say that, oh, you don't believe in God or you don't understand love is crappy. So please, Paul, give me a policy that tells me why I should vote for Trump. Otherwise, I'm just going to move on.
Because real love will search this out. You're contradicting yourself. How could you have a fiance and don't believe in God? Are you afraid that if you don't get married, you're committing adultery?
No, I don't want to commit adultery because I don't want to cheat on on my girlfriend. Why would I do that?
How you know it's adultery if there's no God?
I know it's
You
adultery.
contradict yourself.
I know it's adultery because we made a commitment to each other to not seek out any other sexual or emotional partners. So that's why it's adultery. What are you talking about? This is about Trump, my
But
guy.
why
Why
are
should
you
I vote for
getting
Trump? I
married
have hold
then?
on, Paul. I have something called empathy. I'm a
You
human being.
contradict
I
yourself.
don't want to,
You
Paul. Listen
contradict.
to what I'm saying. How is it contradictory for me to have empathy? Go ahead, tell me. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next person. We have a lot of guests today. Actually, we don't have a lot of guests. Everybody dropped out. All right, guys. So if you want to go ahead and come on up and tell me why I should vote for Trump, go ahead and like the live share. We have 155 people in here. I do appreciate you all being here, even people who are opposed to what I say. Go ahead and come on up, and we can go ahead and talk. All right. Well, if Trump is the best choice, go ahead and come up and talk to me. Let me know why he's the best choice. The dark system. I have no idea what the hell that means. All right, Devil Dog, I'm gonna invite you up because you seem to have a lot to say. All right, Devil Dog, come on ahead, go ahead and come on up. I'm gonna invite you up because you seem to have a lot to say. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead. I only got like a couple minutes. I got to start work.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so why should I vote for Trump?
Well, should you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
He's better than Harris.
Okay, how so?
Because he was president at one time and things were pretty good. And you can't really say it was on the coattails of Obama because Trump created 417. Some people say 500,000 manufacturing jobs. Of course, C-19 hit, and he lost like 187,000 jobs. So Obama had nothing to do with it. And I black unemployment was down real low, and
Is it still low?
Everything was just hunky dory.
Okay, is what policy did he pass, and in which year made all that happen? Yeah, so Trump didn't pass anything that economically affects the United States until about 2018. So that means those first 2 years, 2016, 2017, that means we were under Obama's economy.
No, we weren't under Obama's economy, man, because the fact is he created brand new 417 to 500,000 manufacturing jobs. And Obama said he couldn't do it. He would need like a magic wand. I mean, Obama actually said in the town hall meeting in Pennsylvania in 2016 that Trump will need a magic wand. Recession would be the norm, and it was quite the opposite.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty good until C-19.
Yeah, and because he because of COVID-19, his mess handling COVID-19, we lost all those jobs, and because of his trade war, we lost all those jobs. Correct?
He lost 197,000. Harris said he lost 200 plus thousand, which was unfactual. I mean, CNN fact checked her on that.
Yeah, that's that's all good and well, but the fact of the matter is, he lost more jobs than he came in with. Did he not?
No, he.
Yeah, he did.
No. He lost a job.
Yeah, he did.
When C-19 happened.
Yeah, exactly, and that was because of his mishandling of COVID-19.
No. The reason why a lot of people are deceived to deal with it and trying to drag their feet, and so in March of 2020, that's when Trump, shut things down and seized travel to and from China, and that's when the Speaker of the House went to Chinatown. And
what did Trump actually do to handle COVID? Because there was a team in place when Trump came in. There was a team in place that would handle pandemics because we had 2 pandemics under Obama. So he put a team in place to actually respond to the pandemic. Trump got rid of that team, and because of when COVID-19 hit, we weren't ready for COVID-19, and he didn't handle anything.
When did he get rid of that team?
He got rid of it. in 2016, not 2016. He came into office 2017. In his
Okay,
first
so
year
did
in
he know
office.
that a pandemic was going to happen?
Pandemics always happen. He should have been prepared for something like
Well,
that.
we didn't know at the time.
Bro, do pandemics happen or not?
No, not as much. Not as much, man.
Not yeah, not they don't happen as much. They don't happen as much because of our health, but they do happen, right? So that
Well,
means that as a government, you should be prepared for things. Should you
Well,
not?
you did have the Ebola case under Obama, and I got to admit he handled it quite well.
Yeah, he did handle it quite well. And
Yeah,
because
He did.
because of Ebola and because of Zika, Obama said we need to put something in place for us to be prepared for any other pandemic.
So,
And Trump got rid of that team, and because of that, we had COVID.
No, it's not because of that we had COVID.
Well, it's not because of that we had COVID. I'm sorry, you're right. It's not because of that we had COVID, but it made the response worse.
Well, it did, but he did actually leave it up to China. I mean, that's where it came from, and he kind of like left it in their field.
Do you see how that's stupid?
No, well, yeah, I think it did because you're talking about China.
Right. But do you see how leaving it up to China is pretty stupid? Because this is something that's global. It's gonna hit everybody. It's not gonna just hit China. So why would you leave it up to China to take care of it? That's dumb.
Well, because it came from a Wuhan lab.
It didn't come from Wuhan. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get into the conspiracy theories. The problem, the problem that the problem that we're having is what we're talking about is that leaving it up to China is stupid. This is a global pandemic. Everybody's gonna be affected. Why would you leave it up to one country to handle it? That country's gonna handle what that country's gonna handle what they handle in their country. We need to handle what's happening over here. So him just sitting back and doing nothing and getting rid of the team that's supposed to do something about it is dumb.
No, my friend, he left it up to where the origins where it came from,
which is stupid. Again, bro, that's dumb.
Leaving up to China is stupid because China is they're not really good people, right? So the thing is,
we're not gonna do that. But my point is that leaving it up to China is a ridiculous response. The reason why it's ridiculous is not because they're bad people or any other BS. It's because this is a global pandemic. Everybody's going to get affected. You need to be prepared, and he wasn't, and that's why we lost all those jobs and went into the COVID recession. And he had to pump $4 trillion into the economy, which is why we saw the inflation that we saw under Biden. So the inflation we saw under Biden was actually because of Trump and his handling of the trade war and the economy.
Why was the inflation rate 1.5 when Trump left office?
Because again, we were on the tails of Obama's economy. The moment Trump started passing economic things for his economy, the Jobs and Tax Cuts Act, his trade war policies, when he raised all the tariffs, all that other stuff, all other good stuff, that's when we started seeing inflation. Because remember, economic policies, they have a delay. You don't get them in the same exact year.
But why
you see them a year after.
Why did Biden keep Trump tariffs?
I don't know why he kept Trump tariffs. He shouldn't have.
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did, which is stupid.
So I mean, what? I mean, you shouldn't really complain about it. I mean, it's like saying,
yeah, he shouldn't have kept those tariffs. That was dumb.
It's like saying, if in fact we were under the coattails of Obama, and Trump kept those policies that Obama implemented, that's great. Now, why did Biden withdraw 95 executive orders on day one when Trump came in? I mean, that is kind of crazy, and that's just like totally destroying Trump's legacy. But Trump didn't do that with Obama. Biden did that with
he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. The moment Trump came in, not only did he do executive orders, he started rolling back regulations that Obama put in, and he immediately tried to get rid of the ACA.
What kind of regulations?
Regulations around housing discrimination, regulations around civil rights.
Did that cause the 2008 recession?
I'm sorry?
Those kind of regulations? The kind of regulations that caused the 2008 recession?
Obama didn't cause the 2008 recession. That came before him.
No. The regulations that caused the 2008 recession. Why not get rid of them? That's what crashed the economy in 2008.
But it wasn't regulations that crashed the economy in 2008. It was banks playing around with our money in the market.
Well, what regulations are you talking about that Trump got rid of from Obama?
There were several housing regulations that Trump put in. Housing.
Specifics.
Specifics? Okay, give me a second because I had a list of them.
All right, I don't have time right now. I gotta go, man. But nice talking to you. All right.
All right, peace out, bro. All right, guys. I appreciate you all being here. Shout out to everybody who's on my Facebook right now. Catherine was good. Yeah, Catherine's just posting some facts in my Facebook comments. Catherine was good. Armory, yeah, you're not a guest. You got to join my TikTok to go ahead and come on up, or I could post my my Streamlab, my StreamYard link, but I'm not sure if I can hear you if I do that. All right, guys, I did see someone else in the chat. DJ, I can't read that second name because it's in Cyrillic. So I'm gonna just say the first name. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna go on to the next caller, next guest. I don't know if DJ is still there, but if DJ is not still there, then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next person. I'd like to thank everybody that's in here. We got 2.9K likes, 233 people in here. I appreciate you all. I really do appreciate you all. Even if you disagree with me, come on up and we can go ahead and have a discussion about it. We can talk about it. DJ, if you're not gonna come up, I don't think DJ's there anymore, guys. I don't think DJ's here anymore. We're gonna go ahead and go to the next person. Well, Andrew just let me go ahead and invite the next person up. All right, we got a David Rodriguez. I'm not sure who was first. Got David Rodriguez, a person with a cherry, and someone else. And we're gonna go ahead and keep on trucking. David, how's it going?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. You have any political affiliation?
I'm Republican.
You're a Republican. Cool. And you over 18 for TikTok purposes, correct?
47.
Awesome. All right, you think I should vote for Trump?
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
All right, why should I vote for Trump?
So last night I was watching Levine, right? So I think Kamala's running on this issue that Trump intervened with the whole border decision, saying that it was a bipartisan. So correct me if I'm wrong on this. But so the votes were in, and something that he came out with, there were 6 Democrats who voted against it. And I think Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were, I forgot her last name, were part of that group to deny that. Did you hear about that?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't hear about it. Okay, I didn't hear about it till last night. I was like, why is she running that? Trump got a hold of it and wanted to run on it when it's not true.
It is true. When the bill that they had over the border had things that both Republicans and Democrats wanted, basically an increase of border patrol, even funding for the wall that Trump said he wanted to do, all that good stuff, right? Reining in ICE and reforming ICE and all that good stuff, which is what Democrats wanted. It had all that in it. In the 11th hour, all the Republicans or the Republicans who should have voted for it to get it passed voted against it, because Trump wanted to run on that policy. He told them to vote against it.
So why would 6 Democrats vote against it?
Because those Democrats in particular, especially Bernie Sanders, he doesn't like the border policy. He doesn't think we should do what we're doing on the border. Basically, increasing border security, the wall, all that good stuff. They don't believe that, so he voted against it.
And Elizabeth as well?
Yeah, and they voted against it.
Don't you find that a little odd?
No. They've always, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have always been against the type of policies we have on the border. They never supported ICE. They never supported the border wall. They never supported more border patrol. They never supported any of that. So why would they vote for it?
It was something that I came across yesterday. I heard yesterday, and I was like, man, I never heard that before.
Yeah, there were some Democrats who voted against it. I don't deny that, but they voted against it based on their more progressive mindset. Like me, for example, when it comes to the entire border thing, I have a completely different idea on how to fix that. I think we just do Schengen.
Colombian, and I'm doing it the legit rate. the legit way, because it's easily for me to just tell my wife, hey, go to Mexico and I'll go pick you up. But I'm going through the right channel. If everyone's coming, and I'm from American with my Cuban parents who are come from a communist country. So if everyone's coming over here to seek asylum, it should be these communist countries, which is Venezuela and Cuba.
Okay. Do you see the
Correct?
flag on my profile?
Your hate? I can't see.
That's Haiti.
Okay. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Haiti, but is it a communist country?
It's not.
It's not. So how is that seeking political asylum?
Because if you're part of a certain party, or if a certain gang is after you, like for example, when my parents came over, they were under the Duvalier regime. My dad was opposition party. So that means if he stayed in Haiti, guess what could have happened to him?
They could have killed him.
Exactly, because the Duvalier regime was disappearing people. Now Haiti back then was actually safer, which is actually crazy, because the Duvaliers they didn't play. But if you were opposition party and you spoke out, now they let the opposition party exist, but if you spoke out against them, so my dad had to come over.
Yeah, my grandfather was one of those in Cuba. When Fidel Castro came into power, he spent 15 years in prison because he was against the government.
The Castros, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think my main point is that just them being communist doesn't mean that just because it's not communist doesn't mean that they don't need asylum. There are actually people who live in like gangland territories where the gangs are really after them, and if they stay there and if they go back, the gang is gonna take them out.
Yeah,
that happened to my uncle.
I understand the whole Venezuela situation, Venezuelans in general, because they're just picking up everything that happened between Cuba because of the previous president that was in Cuba, but they're picking up the same ordeal. So I, as a matter of fact, I have 6 employees that are Venezuelans, and they're all good people. But I hear everything that's coming in through the border, they're all bad people.
I mean, like the thing is, when it comes to the border, the best way to matter of fact, it was if you want to stop people from coming over, we should actually do what Kamala Harris did. Because she went to the Northern Triangle and she talked to those people and asked them, why are people actually coming over? And guess what? It was for economic reasons. So she actually made a deal with some businesses down there and said that if we give people more jobs, if you raise their wages, they'll have a better life in their country. And guess what? They won't come over, because we don't get a lot of immigration, a lot of illegal immigration from like Canada. I'm pretty sure we get some illegal immigration from Canada, but not the amount that we see from Central America and the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that amount, and that's because Canada is a first world country. So if those countries were living better, thanks for the gifts, y'all. If those countries are better off, people are not going to come over. So a lot of migrants are, again, like gangland or economic migrants. If you fix that problem, you're not going to have an issue at the border. My issue with Trump's border policy is that it doesn't address any of that. Just says close it off, go stay in Mexico. What does that do?
No, you got to get vetted to get it to come in here, do the right channel like I'm doing with my wife. And correct me, I mean, I've been waiting for about close to 10 months already. And if you go to Colombia, which I go to Colombia about once every 2 months, man, that shit is pure poverty. I mean, from what I've never been to Haiti, but I know Haiti is right there with it. Yeah, and it's pure poverty. Like every girl that you run into, or everyone, oh, you're an American. Let me come to. How can I get to the U.S.? Exactly, is offering you some coochie to come over. I get it. You feel what I'm saying? But like, if you fix that poverty problem, you're gonna fix the entire immigration problem as well. You see what I'm saying? But say that again. I'm sorry. You can't control these other countries. They're their own thing. You can't control the other countries, of course, but like one of the big issues that we have in America is that I always tell people this, right? I always tell people that you're safer from the effects of imperialism when you live inside the empire. So the reason why you see a lot of South Americans and Haitians coming over is because American policy affects these countries. If we stop doing that, maybe they wouldn't come over, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we should probably fix our foreign policy, like maybe the entire money.
Exactly. The entire Monroe Doctrine that we've been following since Monroe, we can stop all that. Yeah, I mean, and maybe these countries will be better off because like there's a lot of things that the CIA did in South America that caused this entire drug war. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know that too much of that history.
Yeah, I know a lot about it because it affects my community. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I mean, dude, I get it. We don't want killers and rapists and none of those people here.
yeah, we don't. I feel that. The thing is like there's going to be citizens who are killers and rapists already. You know what I'm saying? But of course we don't want killer unalivers and rapists in here, but they're not gonna come in through the legal way. They're always gonna come in through the tunnels and through trucks and all that other good stuff. But like the people who are coming to seek asylum, like the vast majority of them are just families with children who just want to live better lives and get away from what's going on in their country. If we can help fix what's going on in their country, which means the poverty situation, if we can help that, then they won't come over. Like we don't get a lot of illegal immigration from like Barbados, where Rihanna is from, because Barbados is pretty well off.
Country. Yeah,
exactly. Same thing with Bahamas.
Yeah. Man, it's a mixed thing, right? So Venezuela. Well, let's talk about Venezuela, right? So they're rich in oil. So why is the U.S. buying oil from them when it's a communist country? And when you're helping them,
because we need oil. Well, actually, we could make our own oil. We don't have to buy oil from Venezuela. I don't know what that's about. But if I'm not mistaken, Trump did a deal with OPEC where, and I don't think Venezuela is part of OPEC, but Trump did a deal with OPEC to actually stop oil production, and I have to look up the OPEC deal because it doesn't come to my mind right now. But his deal was basically to stop oil production or lower the amount of oil production, and that's why we have high oil prices today. Basically,
we should make our own oil.
We actually do,
but not as much. Correct.
Biden actually.
Wait. So I'm gonna assume that you are a Kamala supporter, correct?
As of now, yeah.
As of now. So correct me if I'm wrong. When President Trump was in president, he wanted to refill our reserves at, and I think he got a deal for it. It was like 23 cents a gallon or something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
And everybody was against it. But then here you got Joe Biden doing it at $2.34 or something like that to fill it up. Correct?
To fill what up? Our tanks?
Yeah, our tanks.
Like you're talking about the price of oil?
Yeah.
I mean the price of gas?
To fill up the reserves.
Oh, to fill up the reserves. Now the OPEC deal was basically for oil producers to cut down on their output.
Oh. I don't know. I'm with Trump, man. So that's where I'm at. I'm a business owner, and I definitely saw I was producing a lot more money under Trump than versus Kamala. Even though we still fall under the Trump tax code, but what scares me, the lot invested in the stock market and real estate.
Do you make
a big concern for me?
Are you making over $100,000, $100 million?
$100 million? No.
Okay, so it's not on you.
Man, that could. I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but she's not coming out and saying that.
She is. That's on her site.
So
over 100. If you make over 100 million, then you get the tax, and that's on households. That's not even on businesses.
Yeah.
I wish it was on businesses.
And that whole part of making over $400,000, dude, my tax rate is like up the roof. I think I'm at like 37%, which is insane. Yeah, I get it. I don't mind paying my taxes, but man, damn, 37% is a lot of money.
It used to be 90% under Reagan.
Fuck. Well, I was a fucking baby by then.
Yeah, I was barely born. I was born in 87.
Yeah, no, I was born in 76.
Yeah. So yeah, I was
90%. Shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, it used to be way higher.
But I'll stick with 22%.
All right, I mean that's all good and well. My issue with the entire thing when it comes to taxes is that if you lower taxes but spend them the same amount, which is what, because those tax cuts have to come from somewhere. You're gonna have to pay for it, have to make up for that windfall somewhere. You know what I mean? So that means that the taxes that those people are not paying, the people who are richer are not paying, who else are gonna pay them? Are they gonna run on a deficit, or taxes are gonna be raised somewhere else, which is what he did with the tariffs.
Loopholes, man. There's loopholes in the system, man. All you have to do is create shell companies. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, pretty much. And but the thing is, like, lowering their taxes, that's what happens now. They just create shell companies and don't reinvest.
For instance, I'll give you one that I found out. Trump has an S corporation just for his helicopter, right? So his helicopter cost him $45,000, I think, per year or something for fuel. He'll write off that fuel, pays zero taxes on that. That's great business.
Yeah,
See
but
what the loophole is on that?
yeah, but the taxes that could have came for that could have gone to funding other things in our country, like education and, you know, healthcare for children and free lunch for children. It's great to not pay those taxes, but that affects everybody else.
Yeah, look, I'm all for paying taxes, just not at that 37%, right? Because I obviously came from poverty and I created my business, and thankfully I did it all on my own. But 37% really kind of limits me on how well I can employ more people and stuff like that.
Does it though?
Of course it does.
I mean, when my father owned the business, the thing that affected him wasn't, you know, paying the taxes. It was, excuse me, it wasn't even paying taxes. It wasn't even paying payroll taxes. It was the actual cost of basically doing business, getting like, because if your business is not in high demand, your business is gonna go out. Like, for example, when the recession happened, my dad owned, like, I think 2 or 3 dry cleaners. When the recession happened, everybody was cutting back on going to the dry cleaners. They were either going to laundromats or washing their clothes at home or hand washing.
Gotcha, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So the demand of,
you got to cut out your luxuries.
Exactly. So it was the demand that made him need to sell the business. It wasn't the taxes. The taxes wasn't a problem.
It's a big problem for me because I can only depreciate. So I own a production company, right? So every time I buy equipment, the equipment costs more, and then I can only depreciate it for 7 years, right? So the way I'm finding myself is, as a matter of fact, 2 months ago, I went out and bought another company. And that's the only way to depreciate my money.
Wait, so what type of production company, or like cameras or video production?
So if you go to a Trump rally, everything, all the sound, all the lights, all the cameras, I own all that stuff.
Oh, okay, that. So how does taxes affect that? Isn't the cost of the equipment what affect you more than the taxes?
I'm sorry?
Won't the cost of the equipment affect you more than the taxes?
No, because it reflects back to me, right? And my employees.
Okay.
So the more I have to pay out to the more I have to pay out to the government, it's less people that I have to pay health insurance for all these employees. Fuel has gone up, so I have to put that all in, which my customers have to pay for. So it's just a snowball effect, and it all starts with fuel, right? So if I need to go buy video walls or a camera that has to get shipped from wherever, I'm paying more because of fuel prices. But I'm not going to pay for it. The client is paying for it.
Exactly, but those fuel prices is because of Trump, because of his deal that he made with OPEC to cut down on their production.
No, that's Biden.
No, that was Trump. The OPEC deal wasn't under Biden; it was under Trump.
Dude, right now I'm sitting at a gas station, right? While I'm charging my car. So right now diesel is $4.89. I have, and each truck that I have, it's about 80 gallons. That's a lot of money.
I understand that, because like it is expensive, but that deal that caused those gas prices to raise happened under Trump, because again, OPEC cut down their production. When you have less supply, the price goes up.
I find that hard to believe when, like I said, under Trump, I think diesel was like $3. When right now I'm looking at skirting $5.
Right. I understand that, but remember what I said to the last guest: economic effects have a delay. So if Trump made this deal, I think Trump made that deal in 2020, 2020 or 2021. I'm not sure when he made it. I'm gonna look it up. There's going to be a delay if they cut down on their prices. Sure, like as when they cut down on production, yeah, we're gonna have the same prices for a while, and then once the supply starts to get short, guess what's gonna happen? The prices are gonna go up, which is what we're seeing now. Biden didn't make a deal with OPEC. Trump made a deal with OPEC to cut down on production.
Because we're gonna make our own oil.
Yeah, and we have been drilling and making our own oil. We're probably not going to see the effects of that until another year or so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still making our own oil. Trump, Biden didn't stop
No,
that.
I get that. I heard that that we're making our own oil, but not as much. Correct?
Oh yeah, plenty. He Biden gave a whole bunch of permits to federal lands.
All right. Well, it was good talk, man. I gotta go, man.
All right, not a problem, David. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Brother. All right.
All right, guys. I appreciate you all being here. We have 5.9K people. I'm sorry, 5.9K likes. 122 people here. I do appreciate y'all the most. Even if you disagree with me, please come on up and we could talk about it. I did see some guests, but the guests dropped out. So if you would like to join me, I am still on TikTok. If you're on my Facebook, the only reason why I can't bring you up is because, well, I'm on TikTok. All right, I'm gonna bring up Dev Shiesty next. Shout out to everybody that's on my Facebook. Catherine, shout out to you. I do appreciate the information. She said, Catherine said to the last guest, you won't be paying 37% across your entire income. The tax rate only applies to what you make over a certain amount. So it's not 37% on $400,000. It's 37% over $400,000. That's what you pay the 37% for. All right, Dev Shiesty, I appreciate you being here. How's it going? Any political affiliation?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I would guess I'm a Republican, yeah.
Republican, all right, cool. Over 18 for TikTok purposes, correct?
Yeah, I'm 24.
Gotcha. All right, Shiesty, you think I should vote for Trump?
Yes, I do, and specifically in this topic that I will raise isn't necessarily a popular one, but I do believe I'm deep in the tech industry, and AI, AGI, to me is the most important issue in this election. And I believe Donald Trump's commitment to overturn or throw out the Biden-Harris administration's executive order on AI regulation is definitely I guess his lack thereof policy on AI is what's the biggest issue for me. I don't know if you want to really dive deep into a conversation on AI or AGI, but that would be my stance.
From what I've learned from my cybersecurity teachers, that we actually don't really have AI. We have machine learning, and it's not even good at it because they suck at math. And I know, cause I took discrete math, and like ChatGPT was pretty shitty at coming at understanding what I was putting into the system. I just wanted to test it out to see if it understood, and it didn't. But like as far as AI and everything like that goes, how is exactly what's the big deal? What's going on with Biden's executive order on AI and Trump throwing it out? What exactly would it do?
So let's start like you mentioned, like you contested if we have AI currently. I will grant you that current like AI models like ChatGPT 4, they have like the IQ level of around like 90, so slightly below average like human.
Mm-hmm.
However, OpenAI, which is like the leading company for AI, it's getting billions poured into it by Microsoft, Facebook, all the major companies. They recently just released a beta for a new AI that has an IQ of 124, which is significantly higher than the average human being. But the Biden Harris basically issued an executive order that basically uses the Defense Production Act that will force like AI companies to hand over proprietary AI documentation and stuff in terms of like protecting the United States interests, obviously. as well as they are mandating NIST, which is a major like cyber. They're the government agency that came up with like the cybersecurity framework that almost everyone in the country has to follow. But the thing that has my concern is leading experts are projecting that AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, can be completed within 10 years. And what AGI is essentially AI currently, you can give it tasks and it can do a task, right? It's not gonna, it can't conceptualize like a human. AGI will, and all this is theoretical. It hasn't technically been proven, but my money would be on it becoming reality shortly.
Okay, I mean I think I know what you're talking about, because I think we saw some. I think there was a company that was able to do like generative models where they I think it was called Sona or something like that. Is that the AGI we're talking about?
Well, AGI just in general, Sona would be definitely like leaning towards that. Basically,
Right.
AGI in general would just be like a computer that can function and think like a human. So it would have the potential to essentially it'd be a human being, like their mind inside of a computer, but it would have a significantly higher IQ than a human.
Oh, okay. It would essentially be what's that thing that we saw in the movie 2000? I know exactly what you mean though. So it'll be essentially it. But okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't really explain it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. My thing is though, okay, so what is Harris's policy towards that you're concerned about?
So she has stated in the comments on both sides, I will grant, have been limited, but she has stated that essentially that she's just basically going to keep with how we currently are going, which would be to keep that Biden EO in place. The problem I have with that is, and Donald Trump's position is he's going to repeal it. The problem I have with it is we really don't know what's going to happen with AGI yet. And if it is what these leading experts are saying it could potentially do.
And what could it potentially do? It could potentially basically be a like a human in intelligence, right? Like an actual AI, like sentient.
Yes,
a sentient being. Okay.
So we're talking like cure to cancer. We're talking science, like leading scientists also project that if an AGI would be created and it is able to self-improve semi-rapidly, there's a concept called longevity escape velocity, which currently every year we live on Earth, we gain 0.3 years of expected life expectancy. So longevity escape velocity would essentially be the medical advances would be so significant due to AGI.
Right.
That we would gain more than 1 year per year of living.
I got you. Okay, so what is the problem here? Because Biden's AI executive order is basically telling the industry to, share the results, have safety, everything like. Because I definitely understand why we want to put safety locks on it. Because if someone has my image and can, generate an AI into a camera, showing me, hitting someone with a fire stick, pewing them, basically blowing them away. Now they have video evidence of me committing an unaliving. And if there's no way to tell that from reality, that's extremely concerning, especially that now that we have, companies like 23andMe going out of business that may have, genetic material. If someone can take that genetic material and put it into the crime scene, now there's video evidence and genetic material. So what Biden passed here is, it seems to be something that, we should support. Like,
so can I cut in right here? So yes, I completely agree that at some point we do need to regulate AI leading into AGI development. The problem that I take with it is if we regulate ourselves and a foreign government is able to develop the technology faster, it's essentially like think of it like when we were developing the nuclear bomb. If the Germans would have developed it before us, that we might have lost the war.
Okay, I see what you mean. So like
we're going to regulate ourselves, but none of the other countries are going to regulate themselves So the bad actors are going to do what they're going to do. The Chinese have a lot of money, a lot of good tech companies. They're very smart. If they're able to develop it faster than us, and the AGI is able to self-improve itself, they would have a significant advantage over us, especially in the battlefield and in all the financial markets, everything. So,
okay, so your concern is that this regulation actually hinders development just because they say that they need to be careful about what they're actually doing to protect the risk of engineers, protect the risk of like make sure that they're safe and trustworthy and stuff like that. So basically there should be no regulation on AI or
my position would kind of came together and then banned. The world has like some limiting regulations on nuclear bombs, for example. So the regulation needs to come from like a global scale, in my opinion, because self-regulating yourself could potentially lead to slower development on our end. And if AGI is all that the scientists say it's going to be, which I happen to believe, then that could put us a step behind some of the foreign governments.
I can understand that that concern, but at the same time, if there's no regulation around it, or there's less regulation around protecting citizen privacy, and you know, making sure that ensuring that the AI can be detected as AI, you know what I'm saying? If we don't have the regulations around that, what the effects to citizens can also be just as detrimental. Does that make sense? Like my example of them creating video evidence of me shooting someone. If there's no regulation around how you can tell what's AI and what's not, they won't be able to differentiate between that video and me saying I wasn't there, especially if I didn't have an alibi. You see what I'm saying? Especially if they can spoof my voice, which is what we've seen on Bad Boys 4. They can spoof your voice. If they can do that and say and you know, make a fake call of me saying I want to, you know, do this to this person, and they have an actual video of me doing it, and it's all AI, but there's no regulation around how you can tell something is AI, how you can tell something is not, which is what we're getting to the point of. Do you see the concern that citizens will have? Like, it's a
absolutely.
Yeah. So like, I do want to get what you're saying.
With that, I agree. There does need to be. I know that EO called for like watermarkings in different AI generated videos. Now, granted, do I believe that would actually work? Because someone will just figure out a way how to remove the watermark, most likely.
Yeah.
Point being is, I agree that there does need to be a privacy restriction. In fact, the United States is like the worst across. The EU is significantly better with privacy regulations when it relates to tech in the United States. But the main issue I have with it is regulating it with the Defense Production Act, and as well as having NIST get involved and making some sort of framework that all these AI companies need to follow. That's kind of the issue that I have with it. But again, I understand, like, I am all for AI regulation, but it has to be done the right way, in a way which we're not behind the Chinese.
Okay, I see that, but the AI regulation that is in place, do you think that puts us behind the Chinese, like hinders us too much?
Yes, because companies really do not want to get significant fines from the United States for not following these regulations, and any sort of hindrance, like, for example, they have to turn over their documentation and their testing results and all different types of things when they're creating these new AI models. And if China doesn't have to do that, or let's not even say China, let's just say a couple rich kids get together that are super smart in some country and decide to just do what they want. Like, I mean, I just think that we are putting ourselves a little bit behind on that. And I think that I would like to see all the AI world leaders get together. And I know Congress has been meeting with some of Sam Altman, I believe, went to Congress recently, but yeah, I just think that it's an issue we need to look closer into before making some sort of like regulatory body on it.
I got you. My issue is with this, man. Like, and it's gonna sound like a little crass, but it sounds like these companies is like they got to put their big boy pants on, bro. Like, we live in a society, man. Like, yeah, like the government is gonna want to know what the hell you're doing with this thing, because like we got citizens to protect. And if you're just saying, oh, I don't want to share it because it's gonna be a whole book that I have to give to you. Yeah, we got citizens to protect. Go ahead and give me that book to see if I can see what we're doing. You know what I mean? Because we need to know what's going on. It's like, I understand that the government is not 100% trustworthy. Like, I get it. The government is not always trustworthy, but we tend to kind of forget that it was companies that told us that trans fat is what causes obesity and not sugar. And then we're finding out now that it's sugar that causes obesity. You know what I'm saying? It was companies that told us that a woman smoking cigarettes won't affect her baby, and then we found out that it does affect her baby. So if it's going to make more profit, but people are going to be sacrificed, the company's going to sacrifice the people. You know what I mean? They're not going to sacrifice their money. So yeah, I get it. I know it sounds like it's not a huge hard hitting criticism, but they're gonna have to put their big boy pants on, bro. Like, yeah, we need to see what you're doing, because the government needs to worry about people, not your money, not your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I agree with all like protecting the people. I guess I think we're kind of just going around in circles here. Long story short, I just believe that the potential impact of a foreign entity developing
AI before us. I do get that.
AGI before us is more detrimental than people's privacy potentially being overstepped or anything, which I do think is an issue, and we do need to figure out a way to go about that. Mm-hmm. But I think
here's my question.
Issue, I guess.
No, I got you. No, I do feel that. Don't think I don't feel it. I do feel that. My question would be, is that the other countries who may be hostile to us, who are also developing this type of technology, do they have the funding and the expertise that we have? Because one of the main reasons why we developed the nuke before Germany is because we had more funding and more expertise than they did. All their scientists, they cleared it. You know what I mean? They left. So we had the expertise and we had better funding. Those other countries who are also doing this, do they have the expertise? Do they have the funding to do that the way that we do?
I believe the Chinese do. That's pretty much, out of all the countries in the world, the only country that I think can rival us in terms of
China
is the Chinese. Yeah, they're the only ones that really have the capabilities to potentially do that.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Look, so I understand that if there are things within the AI executive order that that's concerning to hinder production, that's something to talk about. But like from not even what I've seen, but what we've seen from Trump is that he kind of throws out the baby with the bathwater. You see what I'm saying? He will throw the entire thing out, even if things that don't hinder production, because it's basically good business essentially. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's would be my concern over Trump's approach to this rather than Harris's approach to this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that could be true. And again, and also Donald Trump might not even throw. I mean, I presume he would, but you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really what I believe is that I think we're ruled by bureaucrats anyway. So I guess it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But I guess you're picking what bureaucrats you want to get ruled by. But regardless,
unfortunately.
But yeah, man, I appreciated the conversation. I got to get off here. I just want to share that. Not trying to be on here arguing about abortion or anything. So
I got you. Yeah. Not a problem, Dev. I appreciate you, man.
All right, take it easy.
You too. All right, y'all. I do appreciate y'all. I do appreciate everybody being here. We got 64 people in here, about 8.1K likes. I did see another person, James. James, I'm gonna bring you up next. Go ahead and stay in the box. I do appreciate that. I just want to shout out everybody who's watching me on YouTube. Shout out everybody who's watching me on Facebook right now. You guys are the best, and I appreciate you all being here. Okay. Shout out to Neuralis on my Facebook. Again, shout out to Catherine, who's also on my Facebook. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Daniel, Magda, who liked my post. And I am on YouTube as well. If you'd like to join me on YouTube, it is Volcy Thoughts, VOLCY, and the word thoughts. Not thoughts like, you know, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. I'm bringing up James next. I think I'm going to be here probably for the next 30 minutes to an hour, and then I will get off. James, how's it going?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Any political affiliation?
Yeah, so I'm a former Republican that's voting for Harris. I guess I didn't read your prompt fully.
No problem.
I didn't see the why, so I was going to tell you why you shouldn't vote for Trump, and then why you're.
No, all good. You can still tell me, like, is there any let's go through the reasons why we shouldn't vote for Trump. And you say you're voting for Harris, correct?
I am. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm like 90% there with Harris. I think what holds me back a little bit is basically her DA pass, but I'm kind of getting over that because as a DA, you gotta prosecute people. I understand the system. It's just
Right.
that I've always had issues with prosecutors, but it's all good and well. I know she's the better of the two evils. You know what I'm saying? But in your opinion, go ahead and tell the audience why we shouldn't vote for Trump. I'm saying, but oh, I think he got a call.
Nope. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
All right, I'm good now. Do I got an echo still?
Not a problem. No, you're good.
All right,
I think
cool.
his name is Richard in the comments. RSRCH. I'm just call you Richard. Yeah, she was a DA. She was a prosecutor. She was a DA of California. But James, go ahead.
Yeah, so I can appreciate the hesitation with any DA, but as you said, on the face of it, your job is literally to prosecute laws in the books. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's your job, right? When it comes to Trump, what has pushed me away from the Republican Party is what it's morphed into, and there's a plethora of reasons why I can't get behind him. Mainly economic reasons, and a lot of people tout him as this economic genius and that he brought prosperity to our country, but in reality he just rode off the coattails of a white hot economy. When he came in, there was no legislation that he passed that helped our economy. I mean, his tax cuts, the 84% of them went to the top 1% to corporations. We saw a little bit more in our pockets, but the vast majority, like I said, 84% went to the very top. Something that is very scary to me, and he just said this is either yesterday or the day before in an interview. He said, we have a bigger problem in our country, a bigger enemy, and it's within. It's the Democrats. It is not more so than Russia, more so than China, more so than Iran. It's Democrats. And he said, but we can solve that problem with the National Guard and maybe even the active duty military. That's a very scary thing to hear, right? Yeah. I think people need to take that more seriously. He demonizes immigrants to a level that we haven't seen in quite some time. When the fact of the matter is, if you remember, I mean, he brought 25,000 Venezuelans in 2 weeks prior to leaving office on a temporary status program. He approved.
I'm sorry, James. One second. I do apologize. Seraphim, I do see you in the box. I'm going to bring you up right after James. Go ahead, James. You can continue.
At the end of the day, this is a guy that capitulated to the Taliban. I'm a disabled combat veteran, and the fact that he let out 5,000 Taliban prisoners, including the leadership structure that is now running Afghanistan. He closed 9 out of 10 of our air bases in Afghanistan, putting us in a choke point for that withdrawal. Things have cause and effect, and he went against all the advice of his generals on the ground, his Secretary of Defense, and his Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he did that. I mean, he offered to bring the leaders of the Taliban to Camp David, for God's sakes. Like, we fought these people for 20 years. My best friend took his last breath on earth fighting these people. And Donald Trump capitulated to him. And, I just, as a man of values, there's no way that I can look at my friend's fatherless child and be like, you know what? I support the man that let these people that did this to your father out of prison. I just can't do it.
Man, rest in peace to your homie and all our service members. Army, Air Force, Marines.
I was in the Army.
Navy.
I was in the 173rd Airborne Brigade. I was an infantryman.
Infantryman.
I
Gotcha.
served in the Korengal Valley in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I was Air Force, but I only went to Bagram once. But yeah, man, like I really I'm really sorry to hear that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, thank you for your service, bro. Gotta salute you for that.
Yeah,
But,
appreciate that, brother.
No, not a problem. But like I do feel you. And when I was in as well, you know, it's surprising. A lot of people would think that, you know, the Air Force are where more of the liberal minded people would go. There is not. It's not.
Right.
The Air Force is full of Republicans, you know what I'm saying? And it was like that. I'm like, and the thing is, I kind of got it because he did raise the military budget, so a lot of us was getting that cake. You know what I mean? It was getting money. You feel me? But it's at the end of the day, when we look at what's going on around the planet, you feel what I'm saying? Even if I wasn't in a combat role, we deployed to Bagram. You see what I'm saying? So it's like those type of things can still happen. Even I was in maintenance, you know what I'm saying? And like I didn't get to go to Bagram. I didn't get to go to Bagram, but still I had friends who got to go there, and it's still a combat zone. You see what I'm saying? Things could still happen. You feel me? And if we're in a situation just like how you said, where it all got closed all those air bases and capitulated to the Taliban and even negotiated with them and everything like that, it's really, really now concerning because we don't know what this man clearly doesn't know what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? He clearly doesn't understand foreign policy. He kind of just thinks big bombs is gonna fix everything. But when we're giving all these weapons to the Saudis, when we're what's that thing? When we're like with Iran, you know what I'm saying? Basically like prodding them into going to war. It's very concerning. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very worrying. It's not one of those things that I want to do. And I don't think he even really paid attention to China, and if China was even a threat. You feel me?
Right. It's super concerning. I mean, just last week, he doubled down on this stance with Iran. And what's funny is a lot of people think that he's like this tough guy and he says these things and it scares people and they're scared of him. Iran called him. I mean, Donald Trump talked about this. Iran called him after he sent that Predator drone on Sawami, I think the guy's name was. Yeah. And eliminated him. Iran said, well, we have to retaliate. But so what we're going to do is we're going to shoot some missiles. It's going to land outside of the base. And so he said, okay. So they do it. 100 service members get traumatic brain injuries, and he calls them headaches. He says, oh, they just got little headaches. Iran has never in our history launched missiles at our troops until Donald Trump took office, and he did nothing in response. Nothing.
Yeah. That's
and
concerning.
And he downplayed our soldiers' injuries, right? Just like he did with John McCain. Like, I voted for McCain, right? And the thing is, like, he was a POW. He served his country. He's a super conservative, and he's been absolutely vilified by this new MAGA movement when we used to prop up our war heroes like a John McCain.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm not gonna lie, I miss those days. I kind of miss the days of the Obama era and the Bush era and everything like that, because even if these people really disagree with each other, you could still see there's massive respect there. You know what I'm saying? Right. You could still see these guys respected each other. Even if you disagreed with Obama on 100 out of 100 things, you would still say, all right, bro, like, let's go get a drink or something. You know what I mean? Like, you could still respect them. But nowadays, it's like people usually blame all this divisiveness back to Obama, but it's like, y'all, I don't see how. You know what I mean? I still don't see how. Even if you disagree with him again on 100 or 200 things, it seemed more respectful back then. Like, I used to be in every single Facebook debate group during the Obama era, from 2008 all the way up until 2014. We had passionate debate, but we always used to say, all right, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and watch Star Wars now. We're like, oh, don't watch this one because that one sucks. You know what I'm saying? Who was able to leave like that? Nowadays, it's a big middle finger to everybody. You know what I mean? And I didn't see that until around 2014, 2015, when the campaign really started popping off. That's when I started seeing it. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a huge disconnect now. Like, you know, the conservative policy has always been little government spending, you know, yada yada. I mean, when Trump was in office, he spent $8.4 trillion, more than any president ever. The current administration has spent 4.2, right? And like what they spent that money on outside of C-19 spending is infrastructure, the CHIPS and Science Act, right? Things that actually invest back into our people. And so somehow, I mean, Trump has always been a man of branding, right? That's how he got his name. That's who he is. And he's good at it. And people are marks. They fall for this con. And he has turned the divisiveness up to a whole other level. And I don't think we'll get back to that civil discourse within politics until the head of that is gone.
Yeah, exactly. And he already said if he loses this one, he's not going to run again. But it's like that the damage that's been done to our civil discourse, it's really worrying, because even though like I said, I'm way on the progressive side, but like I was literally able to talk to conservatives back in 2012. I was able to actually have a conversation. Now a lot of people are just waiting to fight. You know what I mean? And that's very concerning. We're still countrymen. You know what I mean? Right. We're still countrymen. I don't want to war with my own countrymen. That's what does that do for us? It doesn't do anything except, you know, let our enemies come in and tear us apart. You feel me? But it's really concerning that, you know, back in the day where we knew that Russia would be more of a geopolitical foe, where we'll see more and more excuses for that now. And I don't know, man, it's worrying. But James, I do have to get somebody else up here.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming up.
Man.
All right. W. James in the comment, y'all. Thank you to all our servicemen. Thank you for your service. All of our servicemen, thank you for your service. Even if you don't agree with me, still thank you for your service. All right, Seraphim, I am bringing you up next. And Angel's Advocate, I do see you in the box. Let me talk to Seraphim first, and then I'll bring you up right after him. Seraphim, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for having me up.
Not a problem. Any religious, I'm sorry, I said religious. Any political affiliation?
I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
You are voting for Kamala Harris. All right, cool. Go ahead and let us know why we shouldn't vote for Trump and why we should vote for Kamala Harris.
Okay, well, I listened to your last conversation. It was a good one. A lot of facts, a lot of detail, a lot of information was put out there. That's unusual for these kind of platforms. So I took great interest. I happen to have a lot of that knowledge as well. I was also Air Force, and I was Air Force long before Barbara. But one of the things that I do carry with me from my Air Force days is that the top rung of the ladder had to do with integrity. And the reason that Donald Trump is absolutely and utterly disqualified is because the man has no integrity. The man has no honor. Now, I don't understand how it is that everybody cannot see that. And I also don't blame just Donald Trump, because I think all he did was really light the match to reveal 60 plus million others who are just like him. I don't think that this country, for all of our progress, and this is the thing that us old guys always say, for all of our progress, oh, thank you for letting us be on a television commercial. Oh, thank you for letting us vote. Oh, thank you for letting us win an Academy Award. Oh, thank you for letting us even be president of the United States. Don't get it twisted. We still know who you are. And the reality that comes immediately to mind is they have revealed themselves unwittingly. But make no mistake about it, this country ain't really changed all that much. I can remember not too many years ago when I was watching television more often, it seemed to me that every other movie was a zombie movie. And I couldn't understand what's going on with the zombie thing.
I remember that era.
And then comes along Game of Thrones. I mean, the White Walkers, the zombie of zombies, right?
Zombies again,
It's like, well, now, what is with the zombies thing? Well, I have to say, this 60 million plus remind me so very much of the zombies because there ain't no talking to them. There ain't no reasoning with them. They are going straight ahead, whether they're limping or whether they're riding a horse. They're going straight ahead all the way behind Donald Trump. And they can't hear anything to the contrary.
And that's the thing, man. Like someone said in the comments, I think his name was Cojito. Like he said in the comments, it's an echo chamber, and echo chambers are very, very scary. And yeah, I understand you're gonna say there's echo chambers on the left too. I do get that, but echo chambers are scary because when you're in an echo chamber, everything outside of that is seen as a threat because human beings are very, very tribal, or like we kind of think very, very tribally. So if something is outside of quote unquote the tribe, basically your echo chamber, anything outside of that being seen as a threat, people react very, very violently to threats sometimes. And we're seeing that happen right now. Yeah, you feel me? Like there's lots of talk of, you know, if you go to any of these MAGA rallies, they'll tell you if he doesn't win, it's going to be civil war. People react violently to something that's outside of their tribe. You feel me? So these echo chambers are extremely scary to see take place. And I think it's social media does have a lot to do with it, but at least on social media, we were able to speak to each other. Now people don't want to speak to each other. You know what I mean? They just, well, I would say this is more on the MAGA side of things. They really don't want to speak to each other. But a second thing that you brought up is Air Force. One thing that we learned on the top, exactly right. Integrity, service before self, excellence in all we do. And he violates all three of them. All three of them. You know, so I really don't see like the appeal. Like I'll be honest. I don't see the appeal of Trump for men. I don't see the appeal of Elon Musk for men. I don't see the appeal of Jordan Peterson for men. I don't see the appeal of Andrew Tate for men. I don't see the appeal of none of these guys. They're literally cartoon characters. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I really don't get it. Hold on, I do see a comment. Candace Texan, if you want to come up and discuss, go ahead and come up. Don't just sit there and diss us in the comments, please. All right. But Seraphin, go ahead and continue.
I also served with the Marine Corps, not as a Marine, but as a civilian Marine after I got out of Air Force. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that really, really impressed me with them boys, honor was at the top of their rung. Mm-hmm. It was all about honor. I mean, you could be a drunk, you could be just a mean SOB, but as long as you showed that you had some honor, you were good to go. Okay. Now this Donald Trump, not only does he have integrity, he got no honor. I mean, for crying out loud, he goes 0 for 2. To me, it's just a matter now. I hear this talk of civil war and the like. I don't think them boys understand that if they want to go that way, there's a whole lot of people on this side of the fence ready to go right along with them.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing that I think people don't really understand. I don't think a lot of people understand the horrors of warfare. Now, me personally, I didn't deploy onto a battlefield. I've never seen that, but I have been in situations where I saw that happen to somebody else, and they were a person close to me. That's horrible to see. Yeah, I mean, that's horrible to see. So like, and when I hear people come back from the battlefield, when they see it happen in front of them, like they don't want to go back to that. They don't want to go back there.
You're changed forever. I was in Thailand in 74 and I was on the ground. And let me tell you, you don't want to be on no battlefield ever. You don't. I think I do blame it just a little bit on our media. Our media kind of glorifies war. Yeah, I mean, and make it seem this awesome thing, which is why one of my favorite movies is Saving Private Ryan, because those first 5-10 minutes, they actually show you that this is not glorious, y'all. Like we're not Spartans, you know what I mean? Right. That's one of the movies that I feel really affected the minds of young men, especially young men of melanin deficiency. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I think the movie that really affected them to think that war and being a warrior is glorious is the movie 300, because it really kind of projected that, you know, you're an awesome man if you're just, you know, you're fighting for Western civilization and freedom. The Spartans had slaves, yo. Like 300 was a big lie. It was entertaining. It's an entertaining movie, but it was a big lie. Yeah, I mean, it was it was entertaining. I still love it. You know, this is Sparta. I still love it. Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining, but it wasn't the truth, y'all. You know what I mean? But I think it really got into it really inceptioned them into this notion of, you know, Western civilization being the greatest and, you know, all this other good stuff. And it's like, war is not glorious. Yeah, I mean, if a civil war, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if a civil war happens in America, it's not gonna be something that we see like Red Dawn back in the 80s. It's not gonna be like what was the other movie called? It's not gonna be like 300. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like any of that. It's gonna be more like the movie Civil War that we saw. It's gonna be more like Saving Private Ryan. It's gonna be horrible, and you don't want to see that.
Well, I know they better knock off all that language, because I know a lot of my boys. We just itching.
Well, listen, I'm locked and loaded.
That ain't the way to do this thing. But again, I think for me, I have gotten to the place having talked this talk for at least a year now, with a variety of manga. Lord knows I have made every attempt to try and get inside their head just to see where they're at. And I can't. I cannot. I do not get it. They don't see what I see. And that's okay. They don't have to. Right? But that puts us in a very, very strange place. You were talking about the kind of inability for us to come together and have a beer. Well, I don't know how we could. We do not see the world the same way.
And you know, that's the scary part. That's the scary part. We literally do not see reality the same way. Like I've spoken to some of these people who are really deep entrenched into it. It's really, really strange what you'll hear out there, that, you know, Trump is fighting in an entire cabal of, you know, PDF files in the government, and if we vote for them, that means that we have like some sort of brainwashing where we want to support PDF files. It's so strange. Like, they really don't see reality. We're not seeing the reality the same way. And if that's the case, it's how do we even, you know, function as a country when we're not seeing reality the same? You see what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's exactly why this is such an important election, because one way or the other, the confusion and the discontent is not likely to go away. If anything, doesn't matter which side wins, the anger and the discontent will only deepen. And that's the worry that I have for this country, because we're confronted by a lot of challenges around the world. And while all these challenges are going on, we're fighting ourselves. It's pretty tragic.
Yeah, exactly. I really do think misinformation and voting off vibes, it's literally the unseriousness that we take towards our political sphere is extremely concerning, because voting off vibes ain't gonna do it, y'all. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I feel a lot of Trump supporters are doing. It's literally just vibes with them. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's the same thing when Joyful Apostate is on. And it's I hear you, Crystal. My bad, Seraphim. Yeah, I hear you, Crystal. I'm gonna rate Joyful Apostate the moment I'm done. But yeah, it's really concerning, because if democracy is a responsibility. You feel me? It's a responsibility. If you don't take that responsibility seriously, we could end up with something that's worse than Trump. And there are people who think that, you know, Trump is the guy right now, and I get it, but all I've heard from support is vibes. He cares about America. What does that mean? You know what I mean? That's just a vibe. I appreciate the gift, brother. What does that actually mean? You know, it's just a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the border is out of control and he'll control the border. How? Do what? the walls that no one's going to pay for. What does it mean? You know what I mean? We need to start taking our democracy seriously, and we need to do more than just vote off of, you know, American flag vibes. You feel what I'm saying? That makes sense?
No doubt. Host, thank you for having me up. I know you got folk in the queue.
I appreciate you, man.
And listening. Again, thanks. It's a good live. Much appreciated.
Appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Seraphim, y'all. All right, y'all. Shout out to Seraphim. Big W to Seraphim in the chat. I do like these conversations, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and keep on trucking. I don't have anyone on there right now. Shout out to Kohiko, y'all. Follow Kohiko. He's been in the chat right now supporting me. Shout out to Kohiko. I didn't see there was someone in the queue, but they dropped out. There was someone in the queue, but they dropped out. If you disagree with me, go ahead and come on up. I'll be here for about 10 to 20 more minutes. I'll be here for about 10 to 20 more minutes before I get out of here. But I do appreciate the people that came up, and I do appreciate the conversations, y'all. All right, Anthony, do you want to come up? I'll invite you up if you have enough people, Anthony. All right, Anthony, I invited you up. If you didn't get an invite, that means that you don't have enough people to come up, and TikTok doesn't want you to do it. W Kohiko in the chat, y'all. How about you, Max Payne? Max Payne, do you want to come up? An invite. All right, y'all. Like I said, if you disagree with me, come on up. I do want to have a discussion. I'll probably take one more guest before I go ahead and get out of here. Shout out to everyone who's watching me on my Facebook right now. Shout out to everybody watching me on YouTube. We got 39 people in here, 10.7K likes. Let's try to get us to 15K before I leave. Let's try to get us to 15K before I leave. Go ahead and keep liking it. Keep liking the like. Go ahead and keep sharing. And if anyone who disagrees with me, go ahead and come on up. I do not like talking to the chat, y'all. Request to come up if you can. And if you cannot, then, you know, get your numbers up. Get your numbers up if you can't come up. But yeah, right now, as I said earlier, the only hesitation I have for voting for Kamala is because, you know, she's a prosecutor, or she was a prosecutor. And of course, as a prosecutor, you got to do your job. But when there are people who, you know, have exculpatory evidence, I think you should take it. And I think when it comes to prosecutors, it's not just Kamala. This problem is across prosecutors, period. It's more about having a conviction and winning the case than seeking justice. It doesn't work more like Law and Order, y'all, unfortunately. Hey, Jason, I'm going to send you an invite. All right, Jason, I just sent you an invite. If you can come up, go ahead and come up for me. This is an issue with prosecutors across the board in America. It's not just Kamala, where they're more worried about having their conviction. They're more worried about winning their conviction than actually seeking justice. And that's always been my problem. You feel me? That's what makes me kind of you know, here and there with voting for her, but a lot of her policies that I do agree with now. You feel me? I'm about 95% sure that I'm going to vote for Kamala. All right, everyone who's saying Trump 2024 in the chat, if you can request to come up, please do so. Don't just talk on the chat, because I don't like doing that. Jason, I sent you an invite. I don't know if you got it. I'll send it to you as well. Awilda, I also sent you an invite. I've been sending people invites to come up. If you guys don't get them, that's because TikTok doesn't want you to come up. Well, once again, I do appreciate everybody being here. Shout out to everybody who's liking the live right now. Shout out to the two liking the live. Shout out to everyone, all these conversations. Like I said, I'm gonna be here for about 10 more minutes. If I don't get another request, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live now, or I'm gonna get it end the live, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, I will be live tomorrow as well. All right, shout out to everybody who's on my Facebook page right now watching. I do appreciate y'all. Shout out everybody on my Facebook. Shout out to everybody on my YouTube. And shout out to y'all, man. Thanks for all the likes, y'all. Thanks for all the likes. All right, where all the guests go? I invited people who are saying Trump 2024, but I don't know. Do y'all want to come up or not? Hey, thanks for the like, Secular. All right, y'all. We got 47 people in here, 12.9K likes. After this, we are going to be rating Joyful Apostates live, y'all. After this, we will be rating Joyful Apostate. We got 51 people in here now, 13K likes. We'll be rating Joyful Apostates live right after this. Again, this is the topic. If you would like to come up and discuss with me, please come on up. I am waiting for a guest now. Shout out to you, Secular. Thank you for liking, y'all. Thank you for liking, Secular. Thank you for being here, Kohiko. You guys are awesome. I do see people joining right now. There are people joining. There are a lot of people joining. Hey, y'all, the people who just joined, if you disagree with me, then go ahead and come on up. I am willing to have these discussions. If you disagree with me, go ahead and come on up. We have 13.4K likes, y'all. 38 people in here. Shout out to y'all. I ain't gonna sit here all day now. Shout out to everybody who's joining right now, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's joining right now. If you're just joining and you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and hit that guest button. Hit that guest button, or I'll invite you up and we can talk about why I should vote for Trump. I've already invited several people up who's been saying that that I should vote for Trump, but they haven't come up yet. I don't know if Max Payne is still there. I don't know if Wilda is still there, but I did go ahead and tell them to come up, but we'll see. All right, so y'all comment or y'all request. Why should I vote for Trump? Yeah, the comment or y'all should request. Why should I vote for Trump, y'all? Shout out to everyone who's joining right now. Shout out to you, Kohiko. Yeah, we're at 14K. We're almost to 14K, y'all. I think at 14K, I'll go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, Rose, it does seem that way. It does seem that way, doesn't it, Rose? Like Harris is probably the only one who's going to preserve our democracy. At least what's left of it. Right? At least what's left of it. Shout out to Kohiko. I appreciate you being here, Kohiko. I appreciate the support, man. I really do, for real. All right, y'all. I think I've run out of guests. We do got 45 people in here, y'all. I do know all 45 of y'all don't agree with me. It can't be all 45 of y'all agreeing with me. Yeah, there's someone who doesn't agree with me. I know there is, and whoever doesn't, come on up, man. Actually, I at least want to have one last guest, one last conversation before I get out of here, because I got to get something to eat. Oof. We're at 14.6K live, 14.6K likes, 39 people in here. If you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and request and come on up. We'll go ahead and talk about it. I do want to know if you think I should vote for Trump. And if you think I should vote for Trump, go ahead and request and let's talk about it. I do see a lot of people joining. If you're joining right now, don't just join and swipe away. Stay for the conversation. You know what I mean? Talk in the comments. Request to come up. Whatever you can. Yo, Kohiko, this happens on my religious lives too. Like after a while, like I get some requests, and then after a while, people just like stop requesting. I don't know what it is. Like I can't be that scary, right? I know I ain't that scary. All right, George. George, you want to come up? I gotta join your Discord debates, Kohiko. Inbox me your Discord so I could come on, so I could pass by. Yeah, I invited George Wolf. George, if you have enough followers or if you have a VPN, you'll be able to join me and we could talk about it. If not, if you don't see the invite, then that means TikTok is blocking you from coming up. But George Wolf, I did see your comment, so I requested for you I invited you to come on up on the stage so we can go ahead and discuss that. And like I said, if you didn't see the invitation, then TikTok just doesn't like you, bro. You gotta get 1,000. But yeah, Kohiko, once I end this live, we're gonna go over to Joyful Apostate, and once we go over Joyful Apostate, we'll rate his live, and just send me your Discord link, all right? So I can go ahead and join that. We are at 15K, y'all. We have 15.6K likes. And I think that's due to Secular and Kohiko. I appreciate y'all both, man. I do appreciate y'all both. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now. I do appreciate y'all. Revelation 13:16. What does that do with anything? All right, so now people want to come. I'm starting inviting y'all up, y'all. I'm inviting y'all. I don't know if you are receiving the invitation, but Combat Sloth, I did invite you, and Doris, I'm inviting you too. So whoever responds to the request can come on up. I invited Combat Sloth and Doris. Hey, I'll go. How's it going, man? How's it going, man? I've been here for it's about to be an hour and 40 minutes, but I'm almost done though. I'm just waiting for any other guests, and once I'm done here, we're gonna go over to Joyful Apostate. The algorithm has summoned me, y'all. Go ahead and follow him. Am I unburdened by what has been? I don't understand what that means, JB. JB, I'm gonna send you an invite, all right? Because I'm not sure what that means. All right, y'all. JB is probably gonna be my last guest. JB, how's it going?
Good. Just sitting here at the airport, about to take off.
Cool. Any political affiliation?
Affiliation in terms of how?
Left, right, Democrat, Republican, Green Party.
Yeah, I'm conservative. That's how I lean.
You lean conservative. All right, cool, great. I didn't understand what you meant, but before you answer that, do you think I should vote for Trump?
I mean, it's your personal choice. I mean, everybody has their personal choice. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but what I see and you see might be different. So I'm not here to tell you or convince you otherwise. I just know, you know, that statement that I made is more word salad that she says that it just, you start to wonder, I mean, what does that even mean? You know,
Well,
so it's kind of it's a bit of a joke in terms of what she says, you know, around things that you walk away and you're kind of like, okay, and this is going to be the leader of the free world. I'm not saying Trump's perfect by all means, but you know, he at least has done it, and we were in a lot better shape than we were, you know, are now. So.
right,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so why do you think we're in such a bad shape now? Do you think that's anything that Biden did, or is it a
I'm in the
holdover from Trump?
financial industry, and I watch people, bro. The people making 7 figures and above are okay. The people making 100 to 300 are struggling. So here's the question: what about the people making less than 100? So if the people making 100 to 300 a year household income are on the tarmac and watching them bleed because everything's so astronomically expensive. I mean, look, I just went to Five Guys today. $15 for a burger. You know, it's like, man, come on. You know,
Well, Five Guys always been kind of expensive, to tell you the truth, but
but $15.
yeah,
for me to
I
have
know,
a
and it's
small
kind of
burger,
ridiculous.
Yeah, we got to get things. You know, so I think we've just been asleep at the wheel, quite frankly, brother. I look at the last 4 years, and I mean, we've covered up a person that they said was competent when clearly he hasn't been, and it's like, so how am I supposed to just believe, you know, that you're going to do something when they really haven't? So,
all right, but here's my question. The thing is, though, that they have the Chips and Science Act, the infrastructure bill that has reinvested into America, and not only that, the Inflation Act that they passed, I think it was last year, has
the
decreased
Inflation
inflation.
Reduction Act actually made it worse. So.
We're at 2.4 inflation. So how did it make it worse?
Well, we were at 9 or 10, so it's hard to go much higher than that. That's almost like me saying that I'm going to sell you a steak for $25, and then I'm going to sell you one for 80, and then I'm going to sell you one for 50, and it went down. It's still higher than the 20 from before. So it's just, you know, it's a bit of a stretch, man. Look, I mean, the reality is I burned through so much cash because everything is just so fucking expensive, dude. It's
right. I understand that things are expensive. My question is
they
that
haven't done anything to fix
right?
it, so.
But JB, my question is, you said they haven't done anything to fix it, but who actually caused it? They actually have done things to fix it. Like again,
you look
the
at when he
Inflation
came
Reduction
out of
Act,
office,
but
it was 2.3, and then it went to 4. You know, after Joby, and then it went to 9. So I mean,
right, I understand.
Only
I get it,
person I
but
can blame is who was the leader of the free world. You know?
Right, but
so,
the person who was the leader of the free world that actually caused
I'm
the inflation was actually with Trump.
Okay,
so
we were rolling, bro. I was rolling. People 100 to 300 were rolling. People less than 100 were rolling. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You need to rethink this and quit, you know, staying in an echo chamber that, you know, people just keep
the thing is, I'm not in the echo chamber.
You say the same thing, man. It's like,
okay,
you
but
wonder if people are actually
hold
using
on.
critical thinking.
JB, listen to my question. Let me talk question. What caused inflation?
What caused inflation is freaking, you know, a lot of bullshit with the energy policies that they shut down, and freaking a myriad of things, supply chain, you know, mismanagement. I mean,
right. And who did that happen under?
It wasn't 900 Donnie boy. So
it happened under Trump.
Tell me.
It happened under Trump.
You trying to tell me the inflation was 9% under inflation?
I'm not saying that the inflation was 9%. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying. Listen, hold on, bro. Listen, hold on, bro. I heard you. I heard you already. I didn't say that inflation was 9% under Trump. I said that it went to 9% because of Trump, because of the policies that he put in. That's why it's at. All right, y'all. He didn't want to listen to me or have an actual genuine conversation, and this is actually my problem. Hey, Sweaterverse, I do appreciate the hand gifts, man. I do appreciate the finger hearts, and I did hit the live goal. I hit the live goal right before I was about to get out of here. I do appreciate that. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and we are under Trump's tax plan. which is crazy. He was telling me that I'm in an echo chamber and I don't want to do any critical thinking. But the moment I asked him what caused inflation, he didn't want to do any critical thinking. That's kind of funny. That's really funny. Hey, Sweater Vest Ninja, I do appreciate it, man. You helped me hit my live goal right before I was about to get out of here too. Right before I was about to get out of here, you hit my live goal. Yeah, Cherry, he didn't want to listen. Yeah, 7. He did say that. I heard about his grandfather. I did hear a story about his grandfather. Some people have said that's a rumor, but tell you the truth, that being in 1920s America, I kind of don't doubt it. I kind of don't doubt it. But I did hear that rumors about his grandfather. I did hear that. There are some people who are coming in late. I do apologize that y'all are here late, but I am about to get out of here. I've been here for about an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, the last time you will need to vote, right? Right, Libra. I remember he said that. He said that this is gonna be the last time you need to vote. And if people don't view that as scary, I don't know what will. Imagine if Obama said, "If you vote for me, it's the last time you have to vote." Imagine if he said that 12 years ago. What we would be saying about Obama. You know what I mean? Like it's insane what they let him get away with. It really is. They'll completely flip out. They would completely and totally flip out. Hell, they flipped out when Obama said Trayvon will. They flipped out when Obama said if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. They flipped out when he said that. So it's imagine if he said, like it's crazy, man. I don't know. All right, y'all. But I do think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here for Rosie's. We're gonna go over to Joyful Apostates live. Yeah, people have seen him for who he. I mean, that's a scary thing, Cherry. That's a scary thing. I think people know and simply don't care or actually want it to happen. Yeah, a lot of them just don't care, Cherry. A lot of them just don't care. They know and they just don't care. It's a very unserious approach to politics. Very, very unserious approach to politics. And it shouldn't be that way, you know? It really shouldn't be that way. But yeah, I am gonna go ahead and get out of here. I gotta get something to eat. Been here for about 2 hours. Hey, user, you want to go ahead and come on up and talk to me about this, or you just want to sit in the comments and chat? Hold on, I think user has to say something. User, you want to come up or not? I mean, the country is going to lose its power. I mean, America has been the most powerful country in the world for like what 200 years, so it's going to lose. Yeah, I mean, it's going to lose its power. The country that's going to be the most powerful country in the world next is going to be China, of course. So, all right. So, user 967 whatever. I guess he didn't want to come up. He just wanted to troll. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Join Joyful Apostate. Joyful Apostate is live right now. I'm going to go ahead and join his live right now. Go ahead and go there and say Volsi Raid. Name is Joyful __ Apostate. He does religious lives. If you are a religious person, you probably don't want to join his live. But if you're not a religious person, go ahead and join his live. He's a great guy. He does great lives. Joyful Apostate. We're going to go ahead and go over there right now. I do appreciate you all being here. And